A girl named Arina once fell ill with pneumonia. Her fever was high, so she was admitted to the hospital. The next day, her mother came to visit, bringing fruit, Arina's phone, a cheap Chinese model, and textbooks so she could study. Arina still had a high fever. The following day, her mother came to visit again, this time with her father. They entered the ward, but Arina's bed was empty and neatly made. "Where is Arina?" her mother asked the other patients. "Arina died yesterday," they replied. "Thank God," said her mother, finally. Her father rejoiced, but they didn't believe it and decided to confirm with the nurse who had just entered the room. "Excuse me, is it true that Arina died?" "Yes, the poor girl passed away yesterday." "Are you relatives?" "Yes, we're relatives." Happy and relieved, they went home. They immediately threw away Arina's belongings and turned her room into a storage closet, something they had long wanted to do. They were so thrilled that they took a week off from work and went on a trip, like a second honeymoon. They never liked Arina, she irritated them. She was a poor student, her room was always dirty, she was messy, and constantly asked for food. Her parents thought they could finally enjoy life. When they returned, they found a girl sitting on the doormat in front of their door, hugging her knees with her face buried in them. "Girl, move aside, you're in our way," they said. The girl lifted her face, and to their shock, it was Arina. "Arina, how are you here? You abandoned me. You are bad parents. You thought I died, but I didn't." It was another Arina from the next ward who died. "Got it? You, Mom, didn't even bother to remember my room number. And they told me how happy you were when you thought I was dead. But I'm not dead. Now let me in, I'm hungry." The parents were in shock. They hadn't expected this. They had to convert the storage closet back into a child's room and buy new things. They had thrown everything out, including her clothes. From that moment on, Arina irritated her parents even more. She was constantly whining and nagging them, accusing them of being bad parents. But they just wanted to have fun and live for themselves. Her phone had broken in the hospital when Arina tried to call her parents. She didn't remember their numbers, so she couldn't call again. They didn't buy her a new phone, saying it might fix itself. One day, the phone finally turned on. Arina looked through it and saw photos from the hospital. Suddenly, she saw a strange photo, people around a red coffin, and inside it was her. "Could it be that I really died?" thought Arina. "And I was blaming my parents for not loving me." Arina went to her mother and asked, "Mom, did I really die?" "Yes, you did." "Who am I now?" "You're a ghost." "Do you love me?" "Yes, of course, we love you very much." "Did you cry when I died?" "Yes, we cried a lot." "Where am I buried?" They got into the car and drove to the cemetery. Walking among the graves, they approached one. There, on the headstone, was her photograph and the date of her death. Arina realized it was all true. What now? She asked, "Now you need to get back into the coffin." "I don't want to." "Don't be afraid. It's necessary. You have to check in with the cemetery keeper at least once a month to confirm you're a corpse. Otherwise, they'll start searching for you, and it will be revealed that you returned home. Then you'll be sent to purgatory and won't be able to visit us. Climb in, don't be afraid. Tomorrow you'll be with us again." In the grave, there was a round hole covered with a wreath. This hole was how Arina had climbed out of the grave, and now she would go back in. She squeezed into the coffin with difficulty. Her father covered the hole with dirt, and he and her mother laughed and danced around the grave. "Fooled the fool 4 times over," they sang. They had planned this all along to make Arina think she was dead, tricking her into the grave where she suffocated.